That's nice. Is that my size?
Probably.
Yeah, that's my size.
Sure. You can talk after. Yeah. Well, we're obviously only a few days away from another fight in Madison Square Garden for you. I'm curious, what are the emotions now that the hard part of fight camp is all out of the way and it's just media at this point?
I put a video up after my last hard session, the spider session that you guys have probably seen a few times, and that was another one where I just hit Ultra Instinct, and the sparring that day as well, Ultra Instinct, and I just felt like, yeah, game over, and I just felt good about it. So now it's just all this shit, blah 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 blah. Fight's already sold, so I don't need to say much.
You also posted a tweet. I think it was it had a video clip of like Jigsaw from Saw, and obviously Jigsaw, like he kind of punishes people for stuff that they did in the past that they weren't aware of, or maybe am I just looking too much into that, or were you just using?
Well, it is now. Like honestly, I don't. These themes for my fights, I don't plan them. They just come to me, and it's always just been my thing. So I guess yeah, it makes sense. Honestly, it does. Like my tattoos. I just pick it because it looks cool, and then they reveal the significance of my life to me later on. So I'm just a vessel, and I listen to my ancestors or the above.
You also wrote #Law15, which is to crush your enemies totally. Is that so? Specifically on that, is this a different feeling for you leading up to this fight now when you push that out?
Yeah, 100%. Because yeah, crush your enemies totally. If you leave any sign of life, they'll come back for revenge. You should have killed me in Brazil. But yeah, now it's my time and I'll crush him totally. Or maybe I'll just jab and leg kick him, we'll see.
Solid tactic.
Yeah.
You said that this, you saw a Floyd Mayweather clip where he said, if I have to win a fight, it's this fight. And you feel the same about this one with Alex. 100%. Why is the way you feel, why do you feel that way? Is it because of him and your history with him? Is it because of the fan reception to you after the last one? Or is it just because of the training camp you just had, you have to win because you
it's just him. Just the fact that we have that history. I feel like if there's any fight, like every other fight was important to me. The Whitaker fight, part 1, Brunson, Tavares, Costa, whatever. But this fight, I just feel like when I'm standing across from him each round, I just know, like, I can just see it. I'm getting the vibes. I can just see it. This is the one I have to win.
It's funny, right? You said about how this fight's been sold, and I think it has. But he, in the lead up to this on social media, it's like done stuff with tennis balls, the hoverboard and stuff like that. But then when he comes in here and speaks to us at the media, he says, it's not personal, it's just another fight and all that sort of stuff. Do you think he's trying to play down the rivalry to lessen the pressure on himself, or why do you think he's saying that?
I don't know. I haven't really thought about that. Hey, man, he's got bragging rights, so he can talk all the shit he wants. But yeah, like I said, it's giving Costa vibes. And yeah, I like it. I like that kind of energy.
Mm-hmm. Just one last one on pressure. Traditionally, you would say, well, if the guy's lost 2 fights to this guy, the pressure's on him to overcome those odds. But if you watch those fights were trending in a certain direction, right, before the finish in the second one and before the judges in the first one. So is the pressure really on you, or is it on him because the 2 guys who have been in that ring know the way those fights were actually going?
Nah, I like it on me. I like it on me in this one. And then I saw it last night. I was like, why am I the favorite in this on the betting odds? I never check them, but I just happened to see something on Instagram, and I was like, how the fuck am I like the favorite? I feel like we should change that or something. How can you change that? Fake an injury?
Trip over at the press conference?
I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I think people should bet on him on this fight. Yeah, just see what happens.
Is he right here in front of you? Straight ahead. Since Alex entered MMA, he's been asked ad nauseum about you and fighting you. I wonder for you, when you heard that he was going all in, was this initially something that you really wanted, or have you had to kind of build yourself up until he emerged in front of you again?
I just wanted to see what he can do on the big stage. He's had a good knockout. He's had 3-round fight. But yeah, I mean, once I got in the UFC, he started getting asked about me. But yeah, I expected it.
Have you been surprised by his success, or did you expect it once he entered?
I expected it. I mean, you look at his run. I cleared the middleweight division, so I cleared the path for him directly to me. And I mean, I like big fights, big money fights. So this is one of those fights, and the story behind it as well. So without me, he wouldn't be here. There's no way. He would have been exposed a long time ago, but I'll expose him this weekend.
And since he jumped to MMA, we've seen a number of your other past opponents do the same. Simon Marcus, Jason Wilness. I mean, what do you think that says about you that you've kind of started this trend?
Man, all these motherfuckers trying to live off me. You know, they're all trying to live off my name, my fame. But this is my game. And, yeah, I know how to play this game. I'm the game master in this shit, so I'll show them when it comes.
Hey, is he over here? Over here.
Right.
Just a quick question. Obviously, you know, you made the mention of the betting odds and that you don't normally pay attention. I mean, you've been going off like minus 700 your past couple fights, but this is the first one that it's somewhat narrow. I'm kind of curious, like, do you agree? Like, is this the first guy?
He should be the favorite. I don't know why. Well, these betting people or whoever makes these odds sometimes, I just think he should be the favorite in this fight.
Perfect. And then second question, obviously your intro walkouts are always pretty iconic. And last time, you know, the semblance to walking out to your opponent's funeral, like, do you have something special planned for this weekend?
I'm just going to walk out and do work. But the theme is the theme is already set.
Thank you.
Izzy, right here. You admitted that this fight is personal to you. You said the last time it was really personal was Paul Acosta. That was one of the best performances of your career. So do you think being personal makes it an advantage for you?
You can ask Jeff St. Lair from JSV. He'll tell you the truth. That guy right there, he knows. He's broken it down to me before. But I like these moments when I'm forced to rise to the occasion. And I know who I am. I know my spirit. I know my code. I know my ancestry. So, yeah, I mean, he's a tough guy. But, you know, I'm all right. We'll see.
So last time you were in front of the media, you got pretty mad and you told us to do our job. Go watch.
I'm being honest. I'm glad you guys did, actually, because David told me some of you guys did.
So I did. I did my job, and I watched the fights. I want to ask you, do you think the first fight, do you think you got robbed? Because a lot of people think you won that fight.
You can see the faces of myself and himself once his hand got raised. It was a close fight, sure, but, you know, if you're scoring the fight according to the criteria of kickboxing, I mean, I was doing work. And I watched the highlights as well. I think Lunatic Cringe posted a little highlight I shared on my story. And I was seeing the shots I was hitting him with back then, but he was just able to eat them because I was a skinny boy, skinny clow back then. But I can find those same angles on him. My game is a lot different. And my striking has always been better suited for MMA. I've said that from the jump. I'm just really good at striking that I just dominated in kickboxing. But my striking has always been better suited for MMA. And, yeah, again, we'll see.
Obviously, you've improved. I know you're an analyst of the game. You like to study. What about him? Do you think he has improved since then?
Yeah, of course. I mean, he's a guy I feel like he learns fast. And he possesses really good traits that he brings to MMA as well. His frame is really good for MMA. Kind of like mine. We're pretty much the same size. He's just stacked. But I'm brolic right now. And, yeah, I look forward to even being hopefully in the clinch with him just so he can feel me a little bit.
And my last question, everyone's expecting is this high-level kickboxing match. Any chance we get to see a little more wrestling from you?
I think he might shoot. I don't know. But I just have this weird inkling, and I've said it like 3 times now, but I welcome it. I know how to wrestle. I know some jiu-jitsu. Still a white belt, you know, but yeah. I mean, if he shoots on me, I'm taking his neck. I'm taking everything. So we'll see. But I just know my striking is, bruh, you'll see. There's not much to say. I mean, there's not much to say. It's I just got to show it, and I will show it.
Good luck to you.
Hi, is he over here in the back?
In the back?
Yeah. You said in the lead up to this fight with TMZ, you want to make this fight into a horror movie. If you had to make this, if you had a title for this horror movie, what would it be?
A Quiet Place.
And then speaking more on movies, you're a big Marvel fan. Are you going to see Black Panther 2 featuring Kamaru Usman?
Of course. Fuck yeah. I'm going to watch part 1 again, and then I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch part 2 because I've already had great reviews from it as well. I've seen people post 10 out of 10. Like, people I know, not like, I don't look at fucking all these critics or reviews sites or whatever, Rotten Tomatoes or whatever. People that I know have said it's one of the greatest movies they've seen, so I look forward to watching it. Probably after the fight.
And how soon can we see you in the movie industry? Like, do you feel like it's going to be a few years, maybe after you're retired, or like when do you want to go into that?
Tim. Just Tim's face. Even for the, can I talk about Tim? The other one. So like, I mean, I would have filmed for Creed 3 probably, maybe 2 weeks ago, but I turned that down, and that's like the fourth one I've turned down because, again, this is what I'm doing right now. I'm great at this. I'm learning a lot at this. I only just threw that there because I asked Tim first if I could. Hollywood's right there. It's always going to be there. Voiceover work is right there. I have a lot of anime ideas I'm going to put out there as well with my own production company. So all that shit's for later on. Right now, I'm one of the baddest motherfuckers in this bitch, so I'm going to keep doing that.
Is he right here?
Israel over here?
Hands up so I can see where you are.
In the back?
Yeah, there you go.
Right here.
Oh.
Hands up?
Right here.
Okay.
We had Alex in here earlier, and he got asked about something you just kind of did about like the grappling side of it, and he basically said the first one who shoots is kind of already doomed because that shows a sign of desperation. What would you say in response to that?
The first one. Fuck. The first one who shoots. I'll shoot my fist at his face. I don't know. I'll take him down by knocking him down. I don't know. Fuck. This is mixed martial arts, isn't it? When he gets rock and he shoots, I mean, does that mean he's a bitch then?
That seemed to be the way he framed it.
Okay, sweet.
And I just want to know, like, you obviously have a great appreciation for the history of combat sports and MMA and everything. And this story, you know, them signing him and this happening, it kind of reminds me of, like, Chuck Liddell when they brought in, like, Babalu or Jeremy Horn because they'd beaten him, like, pre-UFC and things like that. Do you like that they're kind of... It seems like they would only do this for someone who's like a big star and someone who has a special layer to them. Do you kind of feel that way?
You mean bringing in special opponents?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, because I was making things look too easy, and even I was getting bored with it, you know, having to lap the division again. So, yeah, for me, it's I set the way. I've laid the table out, you know. So the UFC know what they're doing. They brought him up right, gave him the right fights. I don't think he fought a wrestler. He beat a top 5 guy, one top 5 guy. I fought a top 10 guy in my fucking third fight in the UFC, and I just headlined since and stole the show. So my run is different, but I appreciate my run because of the way I did it. And yeah, let him enjoy his time right now. Let him enjoy his 15 minutes.
Thank you.
Israel back here. Right back here.
Yep.
Hey, Israel, welcome back to New York, by the way.
Thank you.
So your greatness cannot be understated, and especially in like kickboxing, comparing you to like Ernesto Hus and the great like Jerome Lebanner, MMA, the next Anderson Silva. But right now, you are the first Israel Adesanya.
Amen.
You know, again, greatness cannot be understated. What is left to accomplish for you, considering that you're now the world champion, you're considered already one of the greatest of all time? What's left to accomplish?
There's a lot in this game. For me, it's just doing what I'm doing, beat everyone up in my way. I never really chased these accolades or these, you know, records or whatever. You put a guy in front of me, we knock him down, you know, and everything else follows. I said it before, I said it again. Jeff, what did I call the belt when I first got to the UFC?
Fancy tiara.
Exactly. I've always said it's a fancy tiara you just wear. All I wanted to do was beat the best in the world, and I've been doing that. And this came, the money came, fuck, everybody came. Yeah.
Gotcha. And one more question. Personal assessment on anime. What's your opinion on Cowboy Bebop?
See, that's a classic I haven't seen yet. I just got onto Chainsaw Man, and I'm liking that right now. I don't know who's seen Chainsaw Man.
Is it not the best thing on TV right now?
Fucking awesome. Like, I just didn't... The way... like, who thinks this shit up? I love it. Honestly, like, I think it was friends kind of just told me, like, oh, you should have a look at Chainsaw Man. I was like, all right, bet. And yeah, that just it blew my mind. So I think I have to catch up to the 4th and 5th episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll catch up to it soon.
2 suggestions: Cowboy Bebop and Fooly Cooly. I promise you.
Also, the one that came out in New Zealand on Disney Channel, it might be Hulu here. I think it might be Cowboy Bebop, the new season.
It might be.
There's Bebop got canceled and like.
Oh yeah, Bebop got canceled on Netflix.
Not canceled. No, what was the new one? Oh.
Buzzkill.
No, hold up. Sorry, 2 seconds. I got it.
Oh, please do, sir.
Intermission music. Talk amongst yourselves.
Talking amongst myself, sir.
Hold up, 2 seconds.
Champ is looking on Google right now.
Just looking at my Disney app just to see, because it might still be on New Zealand. There's a new one.
I'm going to take notes too.
Sorry. It's the one my friends were telling me, like, the first episode of the new season was fire, so they're hyping it up already. It might not respond because we're in America, but we'll see.
What's it called?
Bleach. The new season of Bleach, I've heard, is the shit, so I've been told to watch that as well, and I know that's a classic. But yeah, Cowboy Bebop, that's the one with the corgi, right?
Yeah, with the corgi.
Yeah. I know the one. It's a classic. It's like from the 80s or 90s.
No, from the late
2000s.
1998 to 2001.
Okay, bet. All right.
Israel, down the back here, just next to him. There's a lot of talk, obviously, about your kickboxing career. There was some talk about other, opponents of yours who've come in, other kickboxers who've come in. One kickboxer who hasn't decided to go down the MMA route, still very famous, almost as famous as you, Andrew Tate. Have you been surprised to see the route he's gone down? Did you know him when he was around the kickboxing world?
Not when he was kickboxing, no. There was just a time, maybe like a few months ago, before I got canceled. Can't cancel anyone. He just started to pop up on my Instagram and on my YouTube, and I was just like, who the fuck's this guy? But then, listening to guys like Andrew Schultz talk about the smart system he did. I'm paraphrasing, but he paid people to like post or make pages about him and just flood the internet. If he created that marketing strategy, that's pretty. Yeah, that's a genius way to get, because he was on everybody's page. I never really followed his career as a kickboxer, and I don't know what he's doing now.
Are you a fan of his? Like, you see his posts, everyone sees his posts all over the place. Are you a fan of his? Would you train with him if you offered or anything like that? He's been around, Leon Edwards, other champions in the UFC.
Oh yeah, I saw him in Dubai. Yeah, people were going at Funk Master for that, and I was like, you can't hang out with people. What the fuck? I mean, if he shows respect, I show respect. I'm not a guy. I take things at face value. I've never met him in my life, so I have no anything with him. But some of his message I can understand people didn't like, but I've heard some of it, and I feel he delivers it in a different way. I like Jordan Peterson. He gets the same message across, but without the bravado. I like bravado. I like the style, but I think Jordan Peterson gets the same message across like Andrew Tate, but he gets it across in a different way. Yeah.
Israel, just down here. You said this weekend this is one that you have to win. Has this felt like a shadow kind of following you around? Do you feel like you're finally able to close that chapter now?
Oh, no, it was never following me around. Like, I guess, not in my world. I've always I let this go a long time ago. But, yeah, like I said, the universe blesses you with an opportunity to rewrite history the way you want to rewrite it. So I will. And every fight's always the fight I have to win. Every fight. This one just has that extra little butter on it. That's why I'm like, oh, excuse me. Yeah.
And you mentioned briefly just earlier about kind of your legacy. But, when it's all said and done, how do you want to be remembered as a champion?
As a champion, I fought everybody. I never ducked nobody. I went up in weight. And, yeah, that's still going to happen later on as well. But I just want to be known as a guy who created emotion out of people when he fought, who never ducked anyone. I always called out the best guys, when no one wanted to fight him, when they were supposed to be fucking boogeyman. You're saying that about this guy right now? He's the boogeyman. So I'm like, all right, bet. Boogie.
Thank you.
Israel over here.
What's up?
I just want to make a pop culture ode and see what you think about it. So, obviously everyone knows Drake. I'm not sure if everyone knows 40 Noah Shabib, but he's his producer.
I know 40, yeah.
So you know 40.
I think I might have met him at the embassy. I was drunk.
So I want to get your thoughts on how would you compare their relationship to you and Eugene's relationship, because Drake is in the forefront. He gets all the praise and 40's in the back, and they collaborate in silence, and Drake gets the the applaud from the public. So just want to know how big of a impact
he's trying to walk away now, but Eugene gets shine. He gets shine all the time. You see him on Ariel.
Yeah.
He talks his shit. Yeah. He's out here. So I'm glad he's finally getting the shine he deserves, because for years, not just him, but New Zealand was under the radar. And then, Mark Hunt kind of like put us back on with his resurgence in MMA. And then Dan Hooker came in, UFC Auckland, the first one. and just said, this is our, this is our shit. And then he paved the way as well. And then, yeah, Oceania or Anzacs have now taken over the game, and we're going back to Perth, February. Yeah, I look forward to watching that. My boy Alex, become the double champ. I'm going to be in the crowd, drunk as fuck, and yelling obscenities at him. Yeah.
And one more. The energy for this fight, do you feel it's a dark energy? Is it
Yes.
It's a dark, okay.
For myself, but like I said, I can't be here right now because it's just a waste of energy. What's that going to serve me? It's like, nah, when it's time to get dark, black as fuck. Yeah.
Izzy, one other thing.
Hands up, please. Oh, yeah, there we go. Hey, man. Hey, what's up?
How are you, brother?
I'm very well. Good to see you again.
Yes. Gotta keep following through here with this evolving story of yours. You were saying how you are a fan of Jordan Peterson. What has been one of your favorite takeaways from his lectures and what he talks about?
I posted one the other day that I already kind of knew from him. I learned from him, but I didn't like the way the interviewer was asking the question. Like, when you watch the whole interview in its entirety, he's trying to, like, almost clickbait him. He's like, oh, you're saying you should go ahead and beat women. He's like, I never said that. And I love the way he responds to critics as well. He never gets overly emotional. Like that guy from that documentary as well, What's a Woman? They never get overly emotional. They never get like, rah, but they just calmly answer the question or get their point across and stump people. Like Jordan did that with this chick one time when she was talking about being offended. And the way they carry themselves, and she got stumped badly, and she was like, "Oh, you got me there." But the way this guy that he was interviewing, he just pretty much told him like, "Nah, learn to be dangerous, but learn how to control it." Because a lot of people try and say, "Oh, I'm a good person. Oh, I would never hurt a fly." And I see that too much in this life. People try and pretend like, but I'm like, nah, it's because you can't. You have no force. You actually have no force to hurt anyone, so you're forced to either manipulate or try and be a sly, cunning guy, So if someone like myself or any of my boys out here with the CKB T-shirts on, we're dangerous men, but with martial arts, we've learned how to control it. Then there's virtue to our goodness. The fact that I haven't had a street fight in years. I get fucking proposed all the time. People try, not lately these days, but it's just, I learned how to control myself. I don't need to hurt people, because I get paid to hurt people. Google it.
And one last thing, Izzy, I remember you telling me the first time we spoke, what was it, 2020 maybe?
It was a good interview.
You said this was after Costa, you said it's personal, but you don't take it personally.
Duality. People never understand that. Like, even when I say this fight, it is personal, but there's no emotion in there. When you get in there, it's just, all right, let's work. It's skills. I'm not going to try and scream in his face or mug him. He doesn't even speak English, so me talking to him means nothing. Just blah, 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 blah. I was like, what? Same with me. I mean, he can try and intimidate me. I think all these tactics is funny. Like, it's like, oh, cool, whatever. But when it's time, when we're in there, when he's locked in the octagon with me, it's a different story. And skills is what will pay the bills, and my power of will.
Is he back center here? Right here?
Yep.
You fought around the world, obviously, and you've fought in MSG before. Do you think there's a specific energy in MSG that's different from any other arena?
Yeah, every time. This is the second time now, and might be my last time, but I had to headline. I was like, I got a headline one time in MSG. And this camp has just been phenomenal. We've got 4, battle-tested soldiers from City Kickboxing. And then we brought the whole squad as well, all our soldiers around, and it feels different. Like, I've never rolled deep before. We've never rolled deep. When it was just myself on this card, I told Eugene, like, I want soldiers only, maybe less than 8 people. But then Dan got added, Brad got added, Carlos got added, and I was like, all right, let's roll. So we've built a fortress of war out in the woods somewhere, and we just come to the city to take over real quick. We'll head back, and we'll come back again and do the same thing when it's Saturday night.
And you said you don't chase accolades, you just try to fight the best, and you have fought the best, and you've beaten the best. You pretty much cleared out the division once you get Pereira here. That's all pretty much the last of them. Are you going to continue to chase accolades by maybe going back up to 205 after this, or do you plan to lap the division again?
I'll lap the division again, and then I'll go back up at some point, just for my own. This is my own, I don't know. not ego, but like just my own, yeah, maybe a little bit of ego, but yeah, just because I can do it. I see 205 niggas walking around, I'm just like, huh. And everyone that sees me, first thing they say, oh my God, you're so bigger, you're much more bigger than that's what she said. But still, hey, it is what it is.
And last one, about MSG again. Some of the biggest names in the sport have headlined MSG. Does it
in history?
Exactly. And especially in the UFC too, they do this once a year, and they pick the biggest guys. Does it mean something special to you that you were selected this year to be the headliner for MSG?
100%. Shout out to my friend Joanne. She's always you need to come back to Madison. You need to come back to Madison. She runs MSG, so she always like tell Dana to put you on. I'm like, don't worry, it'll happen. But yeah, again, it comes to fruition. It happens.
How you doing, Izzy, over here? Stan the Man from Medicine the Man. So you've lapped the division. You've pretty much, nobody is even close to a title shot at 185. Everybody's like 2 or 3 fights away maybe. So do you maybe entertain non-title fights at 205?
Yeah, exactly what I mean. It doesn't have to be for the belt. Like right now, my other Paradigm guy, Jiri's got the belt. So let him do his thing. I just like testing myself. Again, there's heavyweight. I might just pick. I'm not saying I can beat every 205 guy or every fucking heavyweight, but they'll have problems with me. And yeah, there'll be times when, Eugene might say, take that guy out. And I'm like, who? What? All right, bet. And I'll take him out.
You know how once you fought a guy, you kind of share something weird with him. You fought Alex twice. Did you find yourself rooting for him when you watch his fights?
I never watched his fights.
You never seen any of them?
I only found out he was a double champ at Glory Hole like maybe sometime this week, and I was out sure. I know every time I fought, he watched.
And as far as interactions, you guys obviously fought. Did you guys ever have any interactions outside of fighting?
We don't like each other. Sometimes energies don't mix, and that's fine. I applaud you in life as well. Sometimes energies don't mix, and you just go where you're celebrated, don't go where you're tolerated. So with me and him, we don't like each other. After this, we won't like each other. When we're old men, we won't like each other. It's just how it is. Yeah.
Right here. And do you have a after party of any kind planned?
Yeah, 52, Area 52, 54? Space 54, shout out to Tim. I fucking fucked that up. What is it, Space 54? Yeah, Space 54, come pull up, have some shots with us, yeah.
Right here, is it?
Thank you.
Right over here?
Hands up,
right
please.
Here, right here.
Oh, here we go.
Pereira was in here earlier, and I asked him, aside from himself, who did he think had the best striking skills in the UFC? And he said you. I was just wondering what your response to that was.
I mean, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, he's great at what he does. Someone said something about lucky. I've never said he landed a lucky shot on me. Whenever I see people say even, this guy landed a lucky shot, there's no luck. There's a little tiny element of luck, but nah, when you set someone up and you want to punch them in the face and you punch them in the face, you're meant to do that shit. So I've always given him his respect. And again, when it's time, he'll give me my respect. He'll be forced to. Easy. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Great.